Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. This fella's your host, Bill Miller. All right, I'm super excited because we have another 5 undervalued, under the radar spec books that you can pick up right now for dirt cheap. So, without further ado, let's get to specking. All right, first, we have Mystery Society, issue number 1. This is from 2010, 5 issues in this series. Interior art by Fiona Staples. This is the A cover right here. The key to this is it's written by Steve Niles. It's sort of a horror cyberpunk type story about a secret organization that's wanted by the government. And they try to right the wrongs that happen in the dark, seedy, paranormal areas that most people don't know about. Think of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, similar in vein to that. Very good story. Now, Steve Niles is a terrific writer. He's had, obviously, 30 Days of Night movie made, but he's had plenty of properties optioned. Dark Days, Breath of Bones, October Faction. And so I would not be surprised if Mystery Society gets optioned at some point soon. This is issue number 1. That's the A cover. This is the B cover for issue number 1. And another B cover. Now you can get that right now for $2 for a high grade copy. Mystery Society number 1, $2. All right, next we have The Backstagers, issue number 1. This is an 8-issue series. It's from 2016. Covered by Veronica Fish. And it's about the backstage world of the theater at an all-boys school. There's a magical portal under the stage. Similar to like Lumberjanes, but with boys. Very good read though. The key to this one is it's written by James Tynion, not the second. Don't dare say the third, the 4th. James Tynion the 4th is the writer of this one. Something is Killing the Children, Department of Truth, Stray Dogs. He's one of the hottest writers out there right now. And this is a second copy. This is the A cover. And it's just a matter of time before people start sniffing around to see what else he has. And I believe he's gone to Substack. So there might be even more incentive to produce some of his material in the form of other media. I could certainly see this being a television show. So The Backstagers number 1, and you can get this for $3 to $5. Near mint, $3 to $5, The Backstagers number 1. I usually talk about indies because they're just a little bit easier. They're easier to get optioned. Warner Brothers is, for the most part, they're going to handle most of the DC titles. And for the most part, Disney will do most of the Marvel titles. And so you have a lot of other streaming services and movie production companies and television studios that are looking for content to produce. And that's where indies come in. There are a lot of them. They run the gamut as far as topics and themes. Most of them are not superhero related. The companies only have to deal with 1 or 2 creators, and it doesn't cost them a lot of money to option these properties. Because when something gets optioned, chances are it won't get produced. But in the cases where it does and it hits, that gets these companies sniffing around more creator-owned properties to see if they can get their own hit on their own hands. And usually with indies, it's the number one. It's the first issue that really sees a spike if something gets optioned or produced or it's successful in some other form of media. Not always, but it's usually the first issue. All right, now we have Conan the Barbarian, issue number 1, but it's the 2019 series. So written by Jason Aaron. And this has the first appearance, I believe, of the Crimson Witch. Mahmoud Asrar does the interior art. Jason Aaron, a great writer. He wrote Scalped. He's written for Thor, Brother Voodoo, a lot of different characters, particularly for Marvel. Excellent writer, and he's doing a really good job on this series as well. This had 25 issues, and this can be had for $4 to $8 for a high-grade copy. So quite a range, but $4 to $8. And the key with this is that there's going to be a Conan TV show at Netflix. So at some point, they may pull information from this particular series. I'm not sure how much they're going to be taking from Robert E. Howard and how much they're going to be taking from things that aren't in canon, things that were written recently in this one and in Savage Sword of Conan from 2018-2019, the ongoing King Conan. So for $4 to $8, I think this one is a good bet. And none of these they're all books in my personal collection. Not selling any of them right now. So there's no personal gain. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm not trying to pump up anything that I have. I just figured if you can get something that's a cool book on the cheap, that way if it blows up later, you got it when it's cheaper, or you can turn around and sell it to get a book that you really do want. So winning proposition there. All right. Next one we have is Satellite Sam, issue number 1. And this is the A cover. This is from 2013. There were 15 issues in the series. Interior art and cover art by Howard Chaykin. Written by Matt Fraction. And most of the indies are writer driven. That's the portion of the story that's going to translate, right? You can have a great artist on the comic, but ultimately, if it gets made into a live action, then you'll have people acting. If it gets made into a cartoon, then they'll have a series of different artists that are producing it at that point. So really, it's the writer, it's the story, and not that the artist doesn't contribute to the story, but generally the writer is the one that drives it. And this is about a TV show host in the early 50s who's found dead in New York City. His son is convinced that he was murdered, and he investigates. It's very noir-like. It's steeped in the golden age of TV production. Plenty of sex and violence, so certainly not for the little ones, but definitely something I could see coming out on one of the premium channels like an HBO Max. Matt Fraction signed a deal with Legendary Entertainment to start producing some of his creator-owned series, and this is definitely one that I would suspect would be on their list to kick the tires of and take a look at. He's written Hawkeye, Iron Fist, Sex Criminals. Very good writer. So that's Satellite Sam #1. You can get it for $3 to $5 for a high-grade copy. Less than the price of a comic book on New Comic Book Day. Satellite Sam #1, $3 to $5. And last, we have Day Tripper #1. This is the only #1. So they don't have any variants that I'm aware of. This is from 2009. There are 10 issues in the series. Gabriel Ba is a writer and artist on it. He did the cover. Fabio Moon also helped write it. They're actually brothers in real life. But they've helped tell the story and done art for Casanova, Umbrella Academy. And this is about the daily trials and tribulations of a writer. So something I'm sure they're pulling from. Each day, the issue ends with the writer's death in a different kind of way each time, and then it begins anew with the next issue. And it's definitely some heavier stuff about kind of determining your path in life and what qualifies as a successfully lived life. So this is $2 to $5 for a high-grade copy. That's Day Tripper #1, $2 to $5. So we'll do a quick review. Again, Day Tripper #1, $2 to $5. Satellite Sam #1. Got Conan the Barbarian #1, the 2019 series. The Backstagers #1. And we have Mystery Society #1. And that will do it for the speculative comics that we have for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. And if you did, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I release new videos. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciated. Remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time.